Hello, this is Lance, your Sacramento private investigator and process server. And we are having a question and answer session. So if you have any questions about, take my glasses off because I can see better. When close up, I can read a little better. So if you have any questions about becoming a process server, or if you are a process server, you want to get some ideas on how to make more money as a process server, I'm the guy to help you with that. Right now, we are here in Sacramento. We're getting ready to serve some documents at a registered agent, corporation service company doing business as CSC Lawyers Incorporating Service. That's one of my locations that I go to every day. I'm here every day to serve documents to them. And so today we have two cases to serve: State Farm and General Motors. Registered agents are what I love to serve, because all you do is you walk in, drop it off, write down the name of the clerk, and leave. Registered agents are what I love to serve. I specialize in serving registered agents. Now, I do serve people and businesses as well. So we've got two other cases that we have to serve after this to people. And then we have another registered agent that we're serving over at Paracourt. And if you've been following along with my videos, you can see that I actually made a website specifically for serving Paracorp. And now we've got a case to serve. It's an LLC that we're serving at Paracorp after we leave serving Corporation Service Company. Now, Paracorp is just 300 yards away, so once we're done serving this location, we'll go to the next location and serve Paracorp. So if you're new to my channel, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and click the bell notification, because I share a lot of training ideas on what to do under certain kind of circumstances, and also I share tips on how to get more process server clients, because becoming a process server is the easy part. The hardest part is getting the clients, and I specialize in getting clients for registered agents like these two we got here. This is a small claims SC100 and another small claims SC100 to State Farm and to General Motors. I was hired. One was a law firm down in Southern California that hired me, and the other one was a person that hired me to serve these corporations at their registered agents. So kind of how it works is, in California specifically, but it covers all states, when you form an LLC or a corporation, you have to identify a registered agent for service of process. And these companies identified Corporation Service Company doing business as CSC Lawyers Incorporating Service as their registered agent. So whenever somebody wants to subpoena or sue those companies, those corporations, they have to serve the registered agent. Well, I kind of a little bit about my story is, back in 2001, I started as a private investigator. I used to be a police officer, left the force, and started doing private investigation work for criminal defense attorneys. And they had me serving people to come to court. And then so I started building websites and getting a little putting my information online. And then I get calls from people out of town to serve Corporation Service Company. So I came up here my first time and served some documents. It was pretty easy, not like going and trying to find somebody at their house and worrying about dogs and all that other stuff. Hey, Tony, what's going on? And all that other stuff. And so when I came here, I was like, this is simple. And so I came back a few weeks later to serve them again. And then I saw process servers coming in with stacks like this of documents. I was like, man, they get a lot of them. And, and literally back then I was charging $75 per serve here. And I was thinking, if you get this many, and that's more than one case, that's good money for just walking in and leaving it, and you're done, one stop. So what I ended up doing is I started building content online to target this location, to serve documents just at this location. And that involved websites, videos, content online. Hey, what's going on, Red? You know, all kinds of stuff to build up so I could serve this location, because this is super easy. So basically what I've done is I can help you do the same thing for registered agents in your area. Now you have to find them. You have to find these locations. So that's the hardest part, is finding those registered agents. But if you're in, you know, if you can find a registered agent, then you just duplicate the steps that I do, target, and then what happens is people out of town trying to serve that registered agent will call you or fill out an online form on your website, and then you can get that easy business of serving registered agent, because this is the easy part of process serving. I mean, I still go serve people. Like, I got a guy I'm trying to serve a restraining order on, and he just is avoiding service altogether. Lied to me, said he was gonna be there. I called him on the phone to try to make an appointment. He wasn't there. Okay, I get it, you know, so I make my attempts. But this, you just show up, drop it off. Now they close at 4. So I got an hour before they close. I'd walk in, leave it there, write down the clerk's name, and then come out, fill out my contact information on my process server software, and I'm done. Quick, easy, I'm done. And so I can teach you how to do the same thing. I can teach you how to find registered agents. I even, you know, and how to market to those registered agents. Now, I wrote an ebook. I sell the ebook on my website. If you go in the comment section of there's a link to the ebook, and that ebook will teach you step by step on how to do what I do here in your area, so you can get some of these easy process server clients. Because this is super simple. Literally, I got 2 cases today going to General Motors, State Farm, and I charge $125 a case. So that's 125 times 2 to walk in, leave it, and leave. And I got 2 more that came in today. I'm just waiting on payment, but I'm not gonna do it today. I'm gonna do them on Monday so far. And they fill out a form on my website. I didn't even talk to them at all. They fill out a form on my website. I email them an invoice, they pay it, and then I'll go print the documents and go serve it, and then send them their proof of service form. Quick and easy. And, you know, versus I got to go make an appointment. You don't show up. You got a gate around the yard. You got dogs in your yard. You know, the normal things that process servers got to deal with. I ain't got to deal with none of that. Not serving registered agents. And I'm going down the street to Paracorp to serve another one. So that's 3. Paracorp is like 400 yards away. So that's 3 times 125 each. How much do you make as a process server spending about 20 minutes worth of work? Literally 20 minutes worth of work. Now everybody, I say I got about, you know, several people on watching now. Comment if you're a process server and tell me where you're from. Let me look at these comments. Oh yeah, Mother's Day. I'm taking the moms out for dinner on Sunday. We're going out for dinner on Sunday to my favorite restaurant here in Sac. And for y'all that know me, if you've seen some of my videos, you see where it is. Yeah, so literally that's what it is. Now, let's kind of talk about what it takes to become a process server. Now, this is specifically for California. Now, other states have different licensing requirements and education requirements and training requirements. But I'm going to talk specifically about California. California, you have to register with your local recorder's office. And then when you register, oh, you're in Fairfield? Okay. Oh, you've been doing it for about a year? Okay, well, good. Great thing. So in California, you have to register at your local recorder's office. And then when you register, there's an application that you have to fill out. There is you got to get a process server bond. You got to get a live scan fingerprint, and you got to get a passport size photograph. Submit that, pay your fee. And as long as you pass the background for this live scan, you're a registered process server. It's that simple. No education, no nothing. But you don't, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, you got to kind of know because, ooh, excuse me, Different cases have different requirements. What is a personal service? What is a substituted service? What's a service by mail? How to serve restraining orders? What kind of restraining orders? What kind of proof of service forms do you got to fill out for all of those things? You got to know what you're doing, because you get, literally you got to know what you're doing. Well, I train process servers. Literally, I train process servers. I have an online training course that you can take where I can teach you who to serve, how to fill out the paperwork. There's a link in the description of this video, or you can click the link that's in the comments. It'll take you to my website where you can take this online process server training course. And now I specifically cover California requirements, but most states' service of process, which is what a process server does, is basically the same. Now, I'm no attorney. This is not legal advice. If you need an attorney, you need to hire one. But if I walk up to somebody and I say, is your name John Doe? And they say, yes, I'm John Doe, and I hand them the papers, they've accepted service of process. That's service of process. So you've served them. I mean, and that's basically every state. So that's pretty much in every state. And that's pretty much what you have to do. Now, some states like Texas require you take a training course that's certified by the state of Texas. Some states, you don't have to do anything. You just say you're a process server and you get a business license and you're a process server. But the training that you can take from me will teach you the ins and outs of, the different serves and how to serve and how to fill out the paperwork. And then the key is I'll help you when you complete the training. I'll help you get started to set your business up correctly so that you can get your own process server clients. So who was on here? Will. How are you getting your clients? How are you getting your clients, Will? In Fairfield, how are you getting your clients? Because I know a lot of process servers work for like large process serving firms, like the Alphabet firm. I'm not going to say them specifically, it'd be like the Alphabet firm. But here's the thing: is how much are they paying? Google business page, okay. And see, that's the key. That's the key. Is you get a lot of business from Google when you show up in the search results, okay, or the easy how much are they paying? Hey Vanessa, what's going on? Long Beach, how much are they paying? $12, $15, $30 a serve? No thank you. And you got to go 6 times? No thank you. I'd rather go take my business cards and go knock on attorneys' doors in my local area and pass out cards than to work for them, going 6 times and for $25. I mean, but now I'm not putting it down, because if you're trying to learn the business, that's a great way to learn, get paid to learn, because they're going to show you, you're going to learn the ins and outs. Okay, clients are worse though. Okay. You're going to learn the ins and outs, of the business working for one of them, the Alphabet companies or the easy companies. You'll learn the ins and outs. And then, see, here's the thing. I call infiltration. Infiltrate those companies, because who are you serving? Are they sending you to any places that do because here's an example. Let's say they send you to a hospital and you keep going to that same hospital to serve a subpoena all the time. You're going there to serve a subpoena for business records. And then you go, wait a minute, I'm going to this hospital a lot. And what you do is you just basically build your own content online about serving documents to that hospital. And what will happen is when somebody searches how to serve this hospital a subpoena, your information will come up. That's basically what I do for registered agents and for government agencies, is I'll build content online. Like if you was to search on Google, how to serve a subpoena to Wells Fargo, if anybody does it, I bet you see my face on page 1 more than once. I bet you see some of my websites on page 1 more than one, because that's what I do, is I'll find a niche and I'll just market with videos, website content, blog posts, Facebook posts, YouTube videos, LinkedIn posts, all the social media things that are out there. You put content about serving that location, and then if the What you also do is in the description of all those content, you put a link to your website, a link to your website. And so what happens is somebody will watch the video and they says, oh, I need to serve documents to Wells Fargo. They'll click the link and it'll go to your website. And then there you'll be, hey, if you need to serve documents to Wells Fargo, fill this form out. They'll fill the form out, and then that form will get emailed, like to me, and then I'll print the documents and send them an invoice. Didn't even talk to them at all. Didn't even say a word to them. Send them an invoice. They pay the invoice. And then once they pay it, I'll print the documents out, create my little file here. You know, I just create a little file with their documents. I'll go serve it, fill out my proof of service form, go to my software on my phone, my process server software, log in to serve. They get an email notification that it was done, and there it is. And I love that, because versus I got a restraining order. This guy is never home. He's never gonna be there. He lied about it. And I gotta worry about the dog that he's got. I ain't gotta do that serving registered agents. You know, so if you want to learn how to serve registered agents in your area, in the comments, I pinned a link to my website where I sell this ebook. Get that ebook. It'll teach you how to do what I do in your area to serve registered agents. Now let's see what some of these comments are talking about here. Okay. So Arizona Wasteland, clients are the worst. Okay. I did that and got a response from a family law already. Call. And call them up directly. See, that's what it is. You know, you put the effort in, and you know, but you got to keep. It's got to be constant. That's what I do. Is like, how did I get that lead? How did I get that lead? I figure out what it took to get that lead, and then you just duplicate that over and over again. So if you called family law attorneys and says, hey, I'm a process server, I want to see if you need any documents served. Okay, Lee, we'll talk about Maryland. Okay, we can talk about Maryland as well, but you just have to figure out what the rules are to become a process server. But you still take my course. It'll teach you who to serve, how to fill out the paperwork. Take that course. There's a link in the description, or I don't know where it's going to be. But whatever it took you to get those leads, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Spend your time doing what you did in order to get that client. Like, I spend my time building websites, making YouTube videos, on social media, making posts about serving specific companies like Wells Fargo, State Farm, Amazon, all these companies that use CSC lawyers. So if you search how to serve documents to those companies, I bet you'll see my face somewhere on page 1 and several of my websites, because I got more than one website. I got more than one website. That's what I think. Now, let's see. Any comments came up here? You want to get started in Maryland? Okay. And then you got Chino Hills. Chino Hills. Now, Maryland, if you search, there's probably some registered agents in Maryland. And, you know, if you're looking for easy types of serves, you just build content around serving those registered agents in Maryland. And then eventually, now Google is funny. It takes, you know, I say it's going to take about 5 months before they even know your content exists. I mean, that's just the way it is. They're going to be 5 months before your website's even hit. But YouTube videos, they show up pretty quick. But you know, if you start building your content about serving in Maryland, eventually you'll get these calls from people out of town, because my clients are not local. I don't even try to get local people. I go for people that are out of town trying to serve this location. But this location represents thousands of corporations and LLCs in California. And so does Paracorp, which is like 400 feet from here, where we're going next. They represent thousands of LLCs and corporations. So every time I'll go, I'll make content around who I'm serving. If it's something new, like I'm serving a new one, some studio LLC, something studio LLC. So I'll make a video how to serve a such and such LLC, and I'll put content on my websites about serving that location as well. Okay, I'm a process server, but only make $20 a serve. Okay, where are you at, Lee, to make $20 a serve? Where are you at? Okay, let me know where you're at. But so that's what I do, is I build content online to get people to call me from out of town that want to serve this location. So you're in Maryland? Okay. Okay. So are you subcontracting from the Alphabet company? And then how are you finding these $20 clients? Because if you don't, yes, it does. Yes, it does. The Alphabet company. Now, if you had 20 of them a day at one location, wouldn't be bad. If they was all going here and I had 20 of them a day, yeah, I would do it for $20. Okay. So what you need to do is get that book I wrote, Contracted by a Private Server. Okay, so if you're a process server and you want to get your own registered agents like this place and stop doing those $20 serves, you need to get my book. Read that book and then follow and do exactly what I'm doing in your area, because I think you got a CSC lawyers in Maryland and they represent the same companies in Maryland that they do in California. And you could just do the exact same thing in your state, and then guess what? People will be calling you to serve documents, and you'll get more than $20. You know, you'll get more than that $20 because, but that's, I mean, here's the thing is we got to do what we got to do to pay the bills. You know, and sometimes you got to take those lower amounts, but I say you use that to get information on where you're going, because if you're going to like government agencies or hospitals or stuff like that, take note of that, because if you're going more than once, you know, if you're going more than once, you know, then that's a location that you should target. Because you know, every now and then I would get somebody calling me to go to Department of Motor Vehicles or to go serve documents at the Secretary of State. And I was like, well, you know, these state agencies, they get served too. Don't state agencies get served, you know, or subpoenaed for records? I was like, let me make a list of all the state agencies that are in Sacramento. Okay, so just because I only wanted to make a list of those locations that are in Sacramento, so areas that I serve. So I just I went on the internet and just did a Google search, and then basically, you know, I created a list of all the state agencies in Sacramento. So that's one page. Another page. And another page. And those are all state agencies in Sacramento. So these agencies could be served subpoenas for records or sued. And so, like, the first one is the California Department of Motor Vehicles Legal Affairs Division. Okay, I go there several times a week to deliver documents. And guess why that is? Because I have a website built specifically for them. I have YouTube videos built specifically for them. That's why I get those kind of clients. And it's $125 for me to go deliver a subpoena. Simple. So now my next task, now this could be a lot of work. Just imagine building a blog post for each one of these on your website. Like the next one is how to serve documents to the California Board of Accountancy. That would be a blog post on a website. How to serve documents to the California Acupuncture Board would be another blog post on your website. How to serve documents to the Office of Administrative Law would be another blog post on your website. Now, I have multiple websites targeting Sacramento County, so if I have 5 websites, I'd have to put that blog post on all 5 websites. I just change up the title a little bit and change up the content, and then make videos about serving documents at each one of those locations. And then put that on, because each website has its own YouTube channel. That's one of my niches. Each website has its own YouTube channel. So then I would upload a video onto each channel about serving those locations. Now the video would be different because YouTube would not allow you to post the same video. So my video, I would change things on the video, like change the text, make the video like 1 second longer, or change the music in the video. There's a trick to get it so you can upload those videos. And then what'll happen is people will search Google looking to serve documents at that location, and then my videos will pop up and my websites will pop up. And then they'll fill out the form on my website, send it to me, and I'll get it and send them an invoice. That's how you target specific locations. Now you do that for hospitals. If you can do it for your local government agencies also. So I don't know if you live in a city or a county government, they're subpoenaed a lot and they're sued a lot. Like they might sue the police department or sue the garbage people or something like that. So if you figure out how they serve those agencies, so that may involve you going down to the city hall and says, hey, I'm a process server. I had a client that wants to serve documents to you. What's the process? And they'll tell you, oh, well, they need to send it to such and such, such and such. This is the address. And then you make a video. Hey, I'm a process server in this city. And if you need to serve documents to the city of such and such, this is what you do. You have to deliver your documents to such and such, such and such. And guess what? I can do it for you. All you got to do is click the link in the bio and it'll take you to my website. You fill out a form. That's what you do. So it takes some effort. But that's what the thing is. People think that just because they're a process server, they're going to make good money. No, you got to work at this. This is hard work. And it's not out the serving part. The hardest part is getting the client. So you got to go to these locations. And guess what? When I go, I'm always taking pictures of the signs of the location. City of Sacramento, pictures, just to take some pictures of it. Okay, hey, what's going on, Will? And I'm taking pictures of it because that's content for the websites and it's content for the videos. You can put the videos on there, pictures on the videos as well. So that's what I always do. Every time I go someplace new, I'll take a picture of that state agency's sign and then use that for my websites and for social media and for my videos. Let's see the comments here. What's going on? Let's go here. Okay, it's all people. Well, you gotta get out there and hustle to get your own clients there, Lee. You know what I'm saying? And get that book. That'll teach you what to do. Do you help us figure out which state agencies to target in your training? If you want, I can. I mean, you got to tell me what city you're in, and then it's going to be up to you to find those state agencies. So, like at whatever state, they probably got a website that lists all the state agencies. Whatever state you're in, they probably got a website that lists all the state agencies, and you just got to go through each one to see which one is located in your area. So if anybody can do me a favor and like the video, just like it, I'd appreciate it. Just give me some likes. Yeah, just give me some likes. I'd appreciate it. Like my video. What do you think? Olivia Whittle she's avoiding service? Have you been to her house or job? What's going on with her? Yeah, what's going on? See any more comments? What else? OC is busy. Where's OC? Oh, yeah, she got served on stage at the award show. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, I had one famous person to try to serve, and it was some promoter called me, and this artist did him wrong, and it was over some money, and so he wanted to hire me to serve him. And I already knew it was gonna be hard to get this person, because they're gonna be surrounded by security, and you can't even get access to him. So we stood outside when he got out of his van and was escorted into the venue, but you couldn't even get to him. I mean, there was no way to get close enough to him, and I didn't think about getting tickets and getting front row, because he called me at the last minute. And so, okay, Will, thank you for buying those books. Yeah, I mean, literally. And then Make sure you subscribe to this channel too, because I like sharing tips and talking to people and see what they're doing to get clients. Because there's plenty of business. I mean, don't get it twisted. There's plenty of business. You just got to find it. I mean, literally, you got to find the business. And you mean when I first got started, and I didn't have all the internet stuff going, I would go to the small claims courthouse every day with a shirt on that said process server. Okay? Big letters across the back, process server. I would go sit at the computer and research new filings. Okay, so people that just filed their case within the past week. And then what I would do is I would take a picture of, because in small claims in California is page 2 of this SC100s. Page 2 has the plaintiff's information and defendant's information. So I would take a picture of the page 2, and I would do, from a week ago till today, boom, and take all the pictures. Then I would go down in the lobby and call every one of them. Says, hey, I'm a process server. I'm down here. I'm doing research on the court records, and I see that you filed a small claims action against such and such. Is there any questions I can answer about serving your documents? I wasn't trying to get their business. I would say, is there any questions I can answer about serving your documents? And they're like, well, I already went to the sheriff, or, I'm whatever, or I'm not going to do it, or something like that. So, and I was like, well, I can do it for you. I'm here. And literally I would get 2 to 3 a day. Okay, great. Thank you. I would get 2 to 3 a day doing that. Okay, because I would reach out to them. And there was 2 times, it was funny, it was 2 times that I pulled those records and called the people, and they were in the parking lot still getting ready to go to the sheriff, and they stopped and came back in and gave me the documents and the money to serve them. And so that's how, if you get out there and you outreach to people that need your services, that's how you can get your own clients, by hustling. I call it hustling, because you're reaching out to them. So like, you go to if you're able to pull court records, see what divorce attorneys are filing cases in your county. Okay, family law attorneys, call them. Says, hey, I'm a process server. I'm seeing if you want to serve documents. Send them a letter with your business card. Drop by their office with a business card. Find them on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook. Connect with them. And then so when you do that and you start making posts on LinkedIn and Facebook, if you're connected with them, sometimes they might see your content, and they might, and you'd make a video. Hey, I'm out here in such and such part of town getting ready to serve some divorce papers. And they're a divorce attorney. So if you want to serve these divorce papers, click the link in the description. That's how they find you. So that's one of the ways of keeping out there. So trying to get people to hire you that are local. Now, what I teach you in the book is not local people, it's people from out of town looking to serve documents to companies that are represented by the registered agents. That's what you learn in my book. Let's see here. What did he say? Lance, what term do you use when you are offering your services to serve a particular company like Wells Fargo? Here, I'll show you. Let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to Google. Right now, I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to do a search, how to serve Wells Fargo. How to serve Wells Fargo Bank. Okay, page 1 of Google, how to serve Wells Fargo Bank. Now, that's one of my websites right there. And these are 2 of my videos. So we're going to click one of these videos. Let me take it off of Bluetooth. How to serve legal documents to Wells Fargo Bank registered agent, corporation service company doing business as CSC lawyers. My name is Lance, and I'm a Sacramento private investigator and process server, and we're on our way to serve some legal documents to Wells Fargo's registered agent. CSC Lawyers located at 2710 Gateway Oaks Drive. So if you need to have documents served, click the link below in my description. Okay, so that's what I do. Make a video about serving Wells Fargo. In the description is a link to my website. Okay, so that's how I would. Does that answer your question? So literally, I'm not soliciting people for serving Wells Fargo. I'm just posting content about serving Wells Fargo and other companies, and then people are searching on search engines looking on how to do it, and they find my information, and then they'll click through to my website or they'll call me, and then that's how I get them. But I don't call people and says, hey, do you need to serve Wells Fargo? No, I post content online and they'll find me, and that's how they'll get, you know, I'll get those clients. So if that makes sense. Oh, subpoena. Okay, let's see what else content is here. Earnings or non-earnings subpoena. Is that what you mean? You gotta be a little more specific. But yeah, what time is it? 3:35. Yeah, because they close here. CSC Lawyers, they close here at 4. So I just got to go in at 4. Yeah, you were thinking of writs. I don't do many writs. I don't do many writs because I don't market towards writs. And California has some rules about who can serve writs and all this other stuff, because I'm a private investigator, so I don't have to register in California as a process server, but there's certain things I can't serve, and I think writs is one of them. But I do everything else. And so, but you know, I mostly serve subpoenas and lawsuit papers, literally subpoenas and lawsuit papers here at CSC Lawyers. Oh, you do first of the month writ worms. Okay. And then how did you get those things? Thanks, appreciate that, Lee. Appreciate that. But how did you get those writs? What'd you have to do to get those writs? You're in Arizona, okay? And did you get these all from one company or multiple companies? Oh, it's a good old boys. Okay. Okay, so how to find registered agents in Chino or Chino Hills? Okay, the best thing to do is make a list of like 50 companies that do business in Chino Hills. Okay, not little mom and pop shops, but corporations. Oh, usually one alphabet company. Okay, I understand. Okay, so to get back to Chino Hills, make a list of the companies that are in Chino Hills. And then you go to the California Secretary of State's website and you want to do a business search. And you want to run those companies to see who they use as their registered agent. And then you look to see if that registered agent is located in your city. That's how you figure it out. You got to kind of, it's going to be a process to figure out, but that's how you do it. You got to go start with the local companies, run the company names in the Secretary of State website to see who their registered agent is, and then check that registered agent to see if they're located in that city. That's how you have to do it. Now, another thing is, in Chino Hills, are there any hospitals? Any government agencies? Because find out how you serve those locations also, because that's a little niche that you can do. So once you find those locations, then you follow the steps that's in the book that I gave you, and then that's how you can get those clients to serve that registered agent. If that's how you get them. What was another question? Okay, gold mine. Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do is while you're here, I want somebody to time me. Who can time me to see how long it takes me to go in here and serve these documents? I want somebody to time me. Who can time me? On my process server software, it has a map navigation. It's Google Maps. That's all it is. So I go to, basically what I'll do is I'll bring up the job on my process server software, and then click the address, and it'll give me a map to go there, and then that's how I do it. It's quick, easy. It's just Google Maps, nothing fancy. Yeah. So who's gonna time me? Let's see how long it takes for me to go in here and serve these documents. pen. And this is why I like registered agents. I'm gonna show you. See, the building is 90 yards away. Okay, you gonna time me, Will? Okay, let me get my glasses on so I don't trip and fall. So the building is 90 yards away. So we're gonna go now. Hope nobody takes his phone. Back. How long? How long? So now I go to my process server software. 3.5 minutes, and you know, a minute of that, there was somebody ahead of me that had to check in before I did. Because this location, when you go in, you have to, they have like a little touch screen where you got to put your email address and your name and all that good stuff. So there was somebody already ahead of me that had to register before me. Otherwise, it would have been a minute quicker. And I just did 2. Each one's $125. $125 for that. So now I go to my process server software. They have their, actually they have like a name tag on the counter. So look, you walk in, I write their name down. There was somebody ahead of me. I couldn't get around them. But they got their name tag on a counter. Makes it, you know, so you gotta, you know, so I write their name down. And it's usually the same 3 people that are always there. Because in California, this location is a 1505 corporation. And the 1505 corporation, they have to identify employees who can accept service or process on behalf of the company. And so there's a list of probably 30 people, but only like 4 or 5 of them are usually there at the front. So now we go in this software real quick. So the first one was State Farm. We click in New Attempt. Service type, registered agent. Does anybody use a process service software? Who do you guys use? Who do you use for your process service software? I use Serve Manager. Very happy with it. Saves me so much time and effort. Okay, so this person didn't have a... So I don't have to send emails to clients, let them know what I did. Okay, so that was State Farm. The next one is General Motors. Loyal Puppy, okay. I never heard of Loyal Puppy. General Motors. Serve Manager, okay. So registered agent. I put down who I gave it to. I use HostGator, 1-in-1. What's the other one? GoDaddy are my three hosting companies that I use. I kind of spread it out, but HostGator, I like them the best. There's a link in the description of if you want to sign up to get you another website. They got an offer. They give you a free domain if you get their hosting. But I use HostGator. They're the easiest ones to work with out of all of the ones I just mentioned. I like HostGator. Another thing I do too as well is I'll write down the date and time on my file so I know that, so just in case the kid get in the system or something, I'll be able to know that it was done. Yes. Yes. Here's the thing. Corporations can form in wherever they form. Let's just say they form in Delaware. State Farm's formed in Delaware. To do business in another state, they have to register that corporation in that state. And then in that state, they have to identify a registered agent to accept service or process in that state. So whatever state you're in, State Farm uses a registered agent in that state. So you would search the Secretary of State in your state to figure out who the registered agent is. And it's probably going to be this same company because this company's in every state. So if you're in a company, if you have a corporation service company in your city that you serve, that you're in your jurisdiction, it's a no-brainer. And in my book, I give you 150 registered agents, some in every state. Their addresses, and if it's in your area, it's already done for you. You just do what I do. Literally, do what I do. And we're getting ready to actually oh, it's a State Farm agent with their own, okay. Let me see. But it's just, but is it a State Farm insurance agent with their own corp? Well, even if it is, they have to identify a registered agent. So that's a key. Even if it is a State Farm, a insurance agent who State Farm, they have to identify a registered agent. So if that registered agent, it might be the same person. If they're in your city, you would serve that registered agent. So literally, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a marketing video for State Farm right now. I'm gonna show you how you do this. This is how I make a video. Okay, this is, I got my camera here. Okay, we're gonna be on video. Let me smile. Do you need to serve documents to State Farm in California at their registered agent, corporation, service company doing business as CSC Lawyers Incorporating Service, located at 2710 Gateway Oaks Drive, Suite 150 in Sacramento, California, 95833. Well, my name is Lance, and I am a Sacramento process server, and I serve documents to them daily. I just served them a small claims paperwork just now. So if you need to serve documents to State Farm in California through a registered agent, click the link below in this description. It'll take you to my website where you can fill out an online form. I'll email you an invoice, I'll print the documents out, go serve it, complete a proof of service form, email you a copy, and mail you the original to file with the court. Okay, that's a video. I upload that video into YouTube. I'm not gonna do it now from my phone because it might take forever. And then once I upload that video, then what happens is I put a description, a title, and a description. In the description, I put a link to my website. There's a video. That's how you do it. So every time you go someplace to serve and it's a business like that, make a video. Literally, make a video. Take some pictures of the outside, you know, and so that's how you do it. So right now we're getting ready to go to the next location, which is Paracorp. Now, you might even search in your state to see if you have a Paracorp, because they're not in just California, they're in a few other states as well. See if you have a Paracorp. Do a search, see if you have a Paracorp, because they're just like this location. It's a registered agent location. We're getting ready to head over here to Paracorp. Let's see how close this is. See how close this is. We're here. We're here. So now we got to go in here and serve this LLC a complaint and summons. Now Paracorp, what they like to do is verify the entity. When they don't just take it, they got to make sure that they're the you know, they don't just take it. They make sure they check their records to make sure they're registered agents. Corporate service company, they'll take anything, and then you just deliver it. And if it's wrong, they'll send it back to the client and say this isn't us. Paracorp, they actually will search their records to see if they're the registered agent. So anybody on here, I want somebody to time me to see how long this takes. Time me. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. How long was that? I'm back. How long was that? How long was that? Yeah, so this location, Paracorp, is another registered agent in Sacramento that I specialize in serving. I have several websites. I just started building a brand new one website. 2 minutes 15 seconds. Okay. And I make $125 to deliver these documents. How much is that per hour? Okay, any math whizzes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log in this serve onto my process server software. Registered agent. What's our case name? Okay. Now the client will get an email. Okay. So that it was done. You chat them up, huh? Okay. See, I'm in there to get in and get out. I ain't got time to chat. Get in and get out. Okay? Get in and get out. But I'm here every day. I mean, they know me. But this place is a little different than CSC Lawyers. This place, you gotta, instead of logging, like CSC Lawyers, they have like a little touch screen, you log in information. Here, you have to fill out a form every time, a little sheet. And in this place, they verify that the entity is represented by them before they'll accept it. So it takes a little longer, but even though it was less time than over there, because over there somebody was ahead of me and I had to walk a little longer. But that's basically what a process server does. You bring them snacks, okay. Yeah, I bring them documents. I bring them documents. So now we're gonna write this on the sheet as well. So just today, 5/5/2022 is 3:55 p.m. Okay, let's see what we have next. Let's see what we have next. So literally that was serving 3 registered agents. I specialize in serving those registered agents. If you want to figure out how to serve registered agents in your area, in the I can't even talk. In the chat, I pinned a what do you call it? A link to my website in the chat that you can order this book I wrote on how to serve registered agents. So this is a divorce, but he's never there. Okay, here's a okay, so we've got application for independent administration letter, and then we got a small claims. In the description of the video or in the chat, there's a link to my to the book. So if you click the chat, I pinned a chat, there's a link to the book. You can get the book there. Okay, so we're gonna head to South Sacramento. So I'm gonna have to move this phone. Who wants to stay live with me? Because we can stay live, but I'm gonna be just driving. But I can't have the phone right here because last time I did, I almost got pulled over because the police saw that I had the screen up. So we can go live and we can go to this next location here. 21st Street or Manmar Avenue. Let's go to 21st Street. No, it's not Streamlabs, no. This is straight streaming from on YouTube. So this says it's 20 minutes away. This says 20 minutes with lots of traffic. Okay. I'm gonna eventually put that book on Amazon so they can print it for me. But just get the book and print it. It's a PDF document. You can just print it. So we're gonna try to put this in a different holder. Okay. Let's see here. There we go. So everybody ready for this ride? I'll tell you a few stories as we're driving. I'll tell you a few of my stories as we're driving. I had a case one time where I think it was a small claims or something a few years back where these people were trying to serve this serve somebody. Did I turn my camera off? Recording stop. Okay. Do you guys use body cams when you're out serving? Do you use body cams when you're out serving? California is a two-party state. So they require, you got to have both parties' permission before you can record audio. Now, video can be taken any place in public, but to record audio, you have to have the other party's permission. What does that say? Yeah, link should be in the chat. Link should be in the chat. So I ended up searching on Amazon. I finally found a body cam that I could mute the audio. So now I got this body cam. It's kind of big, but it works. It works. So I may have to invest in some more black shirts so people don't really see it as much. Because if I'm wearing a different color shirt, you're like, what's that? So people don't really see it as much. Because if I'm wearing a different color shirt, you're like, what's that thing sticking out? Thing sticking out. So I'm gonna invest and get me some more black shirts. But yeah, I was serving small claims, and this guy wouldn't open the door. He was never home, and so he was avoiding service. So I figured out where he lived, but he was never home. Or when he was home, he wouldn't open the door. So I got out to his place at like 4 in the morning. I'll check the chats once we stop, but I got out to his place at like 4 in the morning, and it was all dark. It was an apartment complex. It was all dark, and I was able to find a parking space where I could see the windows to his apartment, and it was all dark in his apartment. And about 4:30, some lights started coming, like the bedroom light came on. And then shortly thereafter, the bathroom light came on. I was like, okay, so he's up getting ready for work. And then, the bathroom light went off, and then the living room light came on. I was like, okay, so he's in so I was like, okay, he's getting ready to leave. So I went and literally got out of my car and went and stood at his front door. Just stood at his front door. And I was only there for a couple of minutes. And then all of a sudden he opens the door, and I'm standing right there. I scared the crap out of this guy. He just jumped. I was like, you've been served. And he actually took the documents. There was no problem with him taking them, but he just was avoiding it. But I guess I spooked him. Would I scare you if you opened your door in the morning and you saw me? It was pitch dark outside. Would I startle you? So that was a kind of one of the ones where I had to go hecka early, because California doesn't really have any rules in reference to the times that you can go or the days of the month or days of the week that you can go. Some states have rules about that. Certain days you can't serve, certain days you can. But California's not that way. So that's one one of the ones that's kind of hard. That's why I like registered agents. You ain't got to go through all that. Literally. You ain't got to go through that with a registered agent. You just show up, drop the documents off to the front desk, and leave. None of that hiding in the car. waiting on people. Yeah, and I'm a private investigator. And so, you know, I some of my clients are private investigator type clients. And so like this morning I had to do a surveillance for a child custody case. So, you know, I had to sit in my car for a couple hours this morning to do surveillance. But as a process server, occasionally I'll get a hard to serve, which is basically the same thing, where you're waiting outside until the person either pulls up or drives away, you know, to serve them. And, you know, I charge $600 for those hard to serve cases. I charge $600 and they get 6 hours of surveillance, 2 hours on 3 different days. And then if the hard to serve is in a jurisdiction that I don't serve in, I'll find a process server in that area and I'll split the profit with them. They can get half, I'll get half. Because I get cases nationwide. I mean, I get cases nationwide due to my market. I get cases nationwide. And I just basically outsource the ones that I don't do to other process servers. So that's why you got to make sure that you join my groups, my process server groups on Facebook. Because that's where I'll post it when I'm looking for somebody to subcontract the job to. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell notification. Because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm at like over 800 now. So I need to get to I want to start getting paid from some of this YouTube money. And I'll check these comments once I stop. And I'll move the camera back up to the underneath the rear view mirror once we get close to the area, because I almost got pulled over the other day because I had the camera up there when I was doing live, and the sheriff's department got behind me and they pulled beside of me and all that good stuff. So I don't want to get in no trouble. I had a case one time where another small claim. I get a lot of small claims cases, you know, because I got content online about serving small claims. I even got a website specifically for small claims. Literally just a website just for small claims type cases. I mean, I think the title is sacramentosmallclaims.com or something like that is the domain name. And I got a YouTube channel for it, and you know, and you know, the website, and I got a Facebook business page for it as well. And so I get a lot of small claims cases, and it was to serve a person. And so, you know, this person, they had a chain link fence around their house, about a 4-foot high chain link fence around their house, you know, that had a gate on it. And so, you know, whenever I go to a house that's got a fence around it, I don't just open the gate and go inside. I'm looking on the porch and around the side of the house where the water spigot is to see if they have a large dog bowl, you know, because that's one of the things you got to worry about is dogs. I mean, literally dogs. And so this house had a big old dog bowl on the front porch. I was like, okay, well, they must have a big dog. So, you know, as I'm parking my car, and, you know, I'm looking around a little bit, and I go to the gate, and I open the gate, and I start walking up the walkway towards the front door. And I was, you know, it's probably about 30 feet from the gate to the front door. And this man opens the front door, and he looked at me, and then all of a sudden this big old white boxer comes running out. Big dog comes charging me. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I go hightail it back to the gate, because I left the gate open. I always leave the gate open to get out. and I got out and slammed the gate, and that dog jumped up on the fence and acted like he was trying to get me. So I was like, you know what? And then the guy goes in the house and he's looking out the window, looking right at me, and I'm waving at him with the papers and stuff. And then he just goes back inside. I was like, okay. So basically he let his dog out to keep me out of his yard. At that point, it's just, I can't do much about it because I wasn't close enough to do a drop serve. So I just, documented on my software what occurred. I take a picture of the house and the dog. And I think I even had it on video at the time, but I can't find that video. And so what I did was I came back a couple days later to try to serve him again. And he was actually walking down the street with no dog. He was probably about 8 houses away from his house. And he didn't see me come up, so basically I parked my car, and as he got up close to my car, I jumped out and handed him the papers. So I was actually able to serve him. But if you're serving registered agents, you ain't got to worry about no dogs. I'd prefer to serve registered agents all day long. Literally. If you want to learn how to do it, I pinned a post in the comment. I pinned a comment that has a link to my website where you can get my book on how to make money serving registered agents. Because there's registered agents in every state. Every state has registered agents. And the key is you got to find those registered agents. And once you find them, then you got to build your online content. And in this book, it'll teach you how to build that content and market towards those registered agents. And it'll teach you how to do it. So we're on our way to go serve a small claims right now here in South Sacramento. This person found me online, and I believe this one came from a YouTube video. This client came from a YouTube video, because on my forms that I have a form on my website where people can that they fill out their name, phone number, email, the case number, then the court address, all the stuff that goes into my contact management software, my process server software is on the form. But I also ask them how they hear about me, because I like to track to see where the leads come from, because that's when I see those leads are coming from, that's where I want to put a lot of effort into marketing those clients for. So YouTube, I make money with YouTube with videos about serving documents. And this is a small claims, not to register to a person, but it's small claims. And I have videos about serving small claims. It's during the day, and I don't know if they're going to be home or not, if they have a job or not, but it's 4:14 right now. So we're getting off the freeway. I got off too soon. Okay. They wanted us to get off on
keep right at the fork.
Okay, so we get off here. So if you're just joining, my name is Lance Casey. I'm your Sacramento private investigator and process server. We are on our way to go serve some small claims papers to a person in South Sacramento. We just left serving 3 documents from a registered agent, or actually 2 registered agents. That's what I specialize in serving, are registered agents. Just served 2 of them, turn this air conditioner on before my phone cuts out talking about it's too hot. So if you could do me a favor, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification so you'll be notified when we upload additional information. I like to share tips on how to become a process server, and the most important part is how to get your own clients as a process server. How do you get your own clients? Smash the yeah, smash it. Getting closer now. Getting pretty close here. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Now, small claims cases, I charge $125, and that gets you 3 attempts. 3 attempts. So we're 4 minutes away. 4 minutes away. We're 4 minutes away. Who carries a body cam? Anybody have a body cam when they're out in the field? Once I'm done with this video and I get back to the office, I'll put a link to where I bought it on Amazon. And it actually has a magnetic basically holder, because it has like a alligator clip, but it has a magnetic holder, so it'll hold on your shirt. Because that was what one of the things is, okay, because a couple of body cams I had, there was no way to hold it on your shirt, but then it doesn't matter because in California you can't record audio, so I'm not even using those at all. I just use this one and just record video. Just record video. This one is bulky too. It's very bulky. That's why I'm wearing a black shirt. And I may have to go to Walmart and get me several more of these black shirts, because it kind of hides the camera a little bit. Kind of hides it. Coming up to 21st Street here shortly. We're going to turn on 21st Street. And then I'll pull over and read some of these comments before we go in and do the serve. over half a mile away. Here, kind of in the shade. Look at some of these comments and stuff. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to talk about, there's, Tony asks, I've heard there are legal ramifications for recording. There are. So what I tell everybody is read the rules in your state and find out what the rule is about recording stuff. You can't record audio in California without permission. So I only record video. And I had to get this body cam here that I could shut off the audio. And I think it was like $180 for the holder and the body cam. And so it's bulky, but you know, the way things are going now, I want to document everything that's going on. So that's why I got a body cam. I haven't had anybody say anything about it yet. I've been working for a few days because normally I have a little smaller one, but you know, I haven't had anybody say anything about it yet. But if they do, I was like, well, you know, it's just like the police record everything I do too, just for my own protection. And so that's why I do it. Okay, what's another comment? Camera was about $180 for the camera and the holder. What are your rates for PI work in Northern California? They got to give me at least $1,000, and that gets them 10 hours of work. It's $100 an hour. That's what I charge. If I'm just starting out, can I start with registered agents? Yes, you can. Registered agents are the easiest to serve. Make sure you get that book. It's in the chat, wherever it is on there. Click that pinned chat. It'll take you to my website where you can get that ebook, How to Make Money with Registered Agents. And make sure you subscribe to this channel as well, because I teach you, give you tips on marketing to get your business going, what to do, how to do it. What is here? Okay. Do I get paid first? Yes, I do. I always get paid first. I make the clients pay me first before I go. That's what I do. I make them pay me first before I go. Hey, Travis, what's going on? You got a gun pulled on you? I ain't never had that. Getting anxiety, looking at all them plates. Okay. Yeah, and it's heavy. This camera is heavy. You're talking about it pulling down. Oh, Travis, I'm on my way to go serve out here by Reggie's house. So you know I'm gonna stop by. But I'm on my way to go serve small claims. That's what we're getting ready to do. We're gonna go try to serve small claims on 21st Street in South Sac. 21st Street in South Sac. So let's go. Nobody's ever gotten physical with me, no. And the only time I thought I was gonna get physical is because I lied to get the guy to show up. I told him that I told him I was his neighbor and I had some of his mail. And I didn't know this until after the fact, but somebody had been stealing his mail. So he showed up thinking it was me. And you know, I had to calm him down and stuff, and I still served him. And so that was the only time I got physical. But okay, sorry about that. I don't know what's almost there.
Quarter mile. Your destination will be on the left.
7477. to serve these documents. We're almost here. The house. We're gonna make a U-turn. Okay, we're here. I'm gonna turn the camera. See, it's got that fence around it.
Recording start.
Let's go up here and try to serve these documents. Gate is locked. Can't get access to get up to that door. And they got security cameras all around it. They got security cameras all around this house. So we want to log this attempt. We'll sit out here for a minute or two, but they got security cameras. So they probably were watching me come up. So this is one of those unsuccessful attempts to serve some documents. Unsuccessful attempt. So we're going to log it into our process server software, take a picture. Let's see, unsuccessful attempt. Take us a picture of the house. Turn off our body cam. So what I'll do is check with the client to see if they have a phone number. Maybe I can call them and see if they're available. So I'll send an email to the client. Normally I don't do any kind of searching to serve people. I leave that up to the client. So, but I am a private investigator, so if they want me to do an online search to find a person, I can do that for them. It's an extra fee, but it's really up to the person to determine if they want me to look on social media, find them. But as a private investigator, I can search databases to find, information on people. But normally I don't do it. I make the person, I have them provide all the information. And then with that information, then I'll go out and serve. So Myanmar Way, where is that at? Myanmar Way, this is a small claims. So that's the next stop, is Myanmar Way. Let's see here, where is it? So we're gonna go to our process server software, and then we're gonna look up that address here, go to view the job, click on the address. And it says it's over off of 47th. Okay, and what is that, 47th and what? Okay. So we're going to do that one a little later. So, hey, I hope everybody enjoyed this ride along with me. I'm your Sacramento private investigator process server. If you want to learn how to be a process server, I can teach. You have an online training course. If you click the link below this video, it'll take you to my website where you can sign up to learn how to become a process server. And also I give you a free ebook if you want it. It's called How to Become a Process Server. It gives you the information on what you got to do in your state to become a process server. And then once you take my training, I can help you get started to market your business, to find clients, because that's the hardest part of this game, is finding clients to serve documents to. And then once you become a process server, what you got to do is you got to learn how to serve registered agents. You got to market to serve registered agents, because there's none of this coming here like, I got to come back to this place 3 times, 2 more times, and I'm not going to be able to get inside, and he may never be served. But if I was to go to a registered agent, I'd be done. I'd be done. And so, this registered agents is super simple. And in the description of the video and in the chat feature, in the chats, is a link to the book, How to Make Money Serving Registered Agents. That's the simplest part of process serving. I ain't got to come back out here again like that. If I was going to a registered agent, I'd be done. I just walked in, dropped it off, and left, like I did earlier in this video. I did 3 of them to 2 different registered agents. I market to them specifically, and I go there every day. And every time I take 1 document, it's $125. I took 3 today. How much is that? And it took me all of 6 minutes versus having to drive 20 minutes to get here. Nobody's here to answer the door. They're watching me through the camera. They're not going to come to the door. So I got to come out here again and then again. And I already know it's probably going to be the same scenario. If I can't get I'm not going to be able to get access to the gate because there's a lock on it. So I can't even get up to the front door. So I'm banging on the garage door to try to get them to come, and then nobody responded. So that's why serving registered agents is the key. Get that book. I wrote it. Follow those steps. Find you some registered agents in your city so you can get some of this easy money processor. Have a good day.